Ta-da! We're back again. It's only been 8 seconds, but it's been a whole week for you. And I still have no connectivity for this episode of Critique-Opolis. But this week we're covering The Amateur. This is going to come out, in like 3 weeks from now? So it'll...
The podcast.
Yeah,
the movie is already out.
Yeah, so it'll be a little bit behind the 8 ball, but you know what? You can listen to this at your leisure. Louisa, you have more connect. I told you that French toast was going to make you tired. Big yawn from this one. 5 pieces of French toast. Oh, it's the weekend. I'll stay awake.
4 halves of French toast.
Covered with chocolate.
Much. Yes.
Of course you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
You did tell me, I know.
Easter
brunch.
That's true. Luis is going to carry a lot of this because my connectivity with the notebook is still down until we get back into the library. We liked it. Yes. Oh, and I have a new recipe. We'll get to that at the end. What do you want to start? Background, Lawrence Fishburn, Rami. Just we saw it, last week?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Last Sunday.
You want to give us a synopsis?
Sure.
Because you can reference the wife, because I can't remember her name, but Mrs. Maisel. What's
Sarah.
Her name? Yeah.
Mrs.
Sarah.
Maisel, yeah.
What's her name? Sarah what?
Sarah just her. I don't know what her last name is. What?
The actress.
Oh, Brosnahan? I don't know how you say that.
Brosnahan.
Brosnahan.
Or I probably butchered it, but...
Sorry, Rachel. Okay, so...
Oh, Sarah's the character name.
Yeah.
Oh, good job. I didn't even remember that.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I was going to say the mom. The wife's name is Sarah. She's played by Mrs. Maisel. The lady who played Mrs. Maisel. Okay, so... The central premise of the film is that Charlie Heller, played by Rami Melek, a brilliant but introverted CIA cryptographer, experiences a life-altering tragedy when his wife Sarah, played by Rachel, how do you say it? Brosnahan,
yeah,
is killed in a terrorist attack in London. When CIA supervisors refuse to take action, Charlie decides to leverage his intelligence and embarks on a perilous global quest to find those responsible and exact revenge. So that's a good overall synopsis. Of course, there's lots more details.
This is a true moviegoer's movie, just in that, there's...
Got a beginning and a middle and an end.
Yeah, there's so much that's just a suspension of disbelief. This guy's a cryptographer, but the ways that he employs to dispatch criminals are well outside the scope of someone who's good with cryptography.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a spoiler alert. It's all over the trailer. The one guy he catches with the pool that's constructed out of plexiglass.
My favorite part.
That connects 2 buildings. He has to use knowledge of physics and chemistry and pressure to
figure out how he's going to take this guy who's having a evening swim.
Yeah, and he's got to time his movements, and that would take a whole team of people. Mm-hmm. And I'm being critical. I know it's a movie.
Yeah.
But what they do in this movie is they're like, okay, he's not like a field guy. He's not like see, they're kicking in. I told you if you
You're
eat
a little
French
late
toast,
to the party.
What do you mean?
It's getting worse, but it was
Oh my God!
Kicking in before.
I told you if you eat that in an hour, you're gonna feel like you've been shot with a tranquilizer dart.
Yeah, we literally came back from breakfast and then with our coats on, we grabbed our things to come down and record.
We have to do this now. You will not be awake in an hour. And I was thinking mistakenly that we could have this chat and it would keep you awake.
We can. We're doing it.
Okay, I know, but I love pointing out that I was right.
Okay, well, you were right.
Anyway.
I knew it as I was eating it.
Okay.
It was delicious.
I know. I think what I was saying was that this movie takes the idea that he's not a field guy. He's not a hard-charging guy with a gun, muscled out, athletic dude. Mm-hmm. He's just smart. But the idea of smart, like he's smart in everything that doesn't require him to like gun down a bunch of baddies in a hallway. Mm-hmm. He's not he's not just a cryptographer. He can build a pipe bomb that has photo sensors to know that when the lid has been opened that it's activated. That requires so many different skill sets that are field agent things, but like in the scope of a movie, it's like, well, he's good with a computer, so he can build a bomb. I love it how it's just this like obscene.
All these things that shouldn't add up to helping him solve.
Yeah, like the thing with the pool that he had to figure out what pressures.
It was pretty amazing.
This pool is constructed by two very thick pieces of plexiglass and separated by an air gap, and he has to figure out how to adjust the pressure of the air gap in order to break the entire pool apart so this guy falls to his death. But he's a cryptographer. I just don't see I didn't realize it while we're watching the movie.
Yeah,
Looking
right.
back at it a week later, I'm like, that's not the same job.
I had a few moments different than that, but from the same movie while we were watching it. I was like, well, that's really interesting. 5 minutes ago he was in location A, and now he's in location B. And when he ran from location A to location B, again, I know it's a movie, but how he didn't run, he wasn't carrying anything. And then all of a sudden he gets to location B and he has like a computer and the materials that he needs to like do whatever it is he needs to do. Does this make sense?
Did he have a bag with him?
In the beginning. But there was at least one time when he was running or like escaping from somewhere to go to the next spot, and he didn't have anything with him, and then he gets to the location and there's all this equipment that he needed.
Are you talking about when he was trying to evade Fishburn and he gets into that bar? Or are you talking about, what part are you talking about?
Honestly, I don't really remember. All I can see is him running down the street. Sometimes he did take a backpack with him, but even when he had the backpack, it wasn't like it was full with stuff.
I think somewhere in Hollywood they have this conversation that the audience will assume the gear
I'm
necessary.
Totally guilty of that because I definitely see it like that.
The audience will assume that once he gets into the car, there's a rifle in there and there's a shovel and there's all this stuff and it's all behind the back seat. But we're going to do so many quick cuts so fast, and we're going to do.
You won't even think about it.
You won't even think about it.
Okay. Anyway, that's my side note.
Which is funny because that started with Jason Bourne. Well, I shouldn't say it started with him, but they did a lot of that. The first Bourne movies, there was just so much moving around, and I'm sure that that's when I first noticed it, especially in MTV videos. They did a lot of that too. Just something was introduced that like an element of a scene would be introduced that wasn't there in the shot, but it would make sense to the audience if it showed up. Mm-hmm. Yep. So we'll just throw this in there.
Yeah, and when you're watching a movie, it does make sense. You just kind of like go with it. You don't really even think about it twice.
A fun movie, a bit. I don't want to use the word formulaic, but I don't want to be negatively critical. I did like it in that it did spend time on his emotional. I hate the word trauma so much, but he loses his wife, and it's definitely affecting him. And you see that there. You see shadows of this throughout the movie. It doesn't go from he's hurt to him being operationally involved with trying to kill these guys off. he's constantly he's having flashbacks about his wife throughout the movie, not just at the beginning.
Yep.
Lawrence Fishburne takes on the role of being his, not to say his handler, but a trainer to put him in the field once he convinces his bosses, which turn out to have their own agenda, I'll say, without giving anything away. He's a bit of a hard case, Lawrence Fishburne is, but understand for what his job is supposed to be, it makes sense. I think the real grit starts once he gets to Europe. The real grit of the movie, once he's trying to track these people.
They have to set it up in the beginning, so when he's still in the United States, he's living his life, going to work like a normal person, and then this big tragedy happens, and he overnight decides that since the people at his work are not helping, he's going to take matters into his own hands. And then, like you said, he goes overseas, and it gets very exciting.
This is just kind of a sidebar, but I always found it funny. Like, if you think of, I can't help but do this, but you employ your own elements of your own life into this person's situation, like just jumping on a flight and going to Europe when you have a job, even if you're on bereavement. The guy makes like 50 or 60, 70 grand a year.
Yeah.
And
just dropping a hat and taking $1,000.
Yeah, taking a $1,200.
Yeah.
And he's doing it on short notice. It's between $1,000 and $2,000. And he's flying to some remote place.
Yeah, just staying who knows where.
Yeah.
But there's a hotel room there for him.
Yeah. I don't know why I do that. I can't really help it. But apparently, did you see anything on the box office, how it did?
Excuse me.
You had, for those of you listening out there, you have no idea how much I'm enjoying seeing these yawns from Louisa. Like, each yawn is another validation of my practicality in being right. Louisa has a little bit better connectivity than I do.
While I'm finding what you were asking for, what other commentaries did you have about Rami Malek? Please.
So I listened to actually it wasn't just the automated podcast about this notebook LM we did for it. I read a bit of his Wikipedia, and what I found interesting is he's Egyptian, or he's half Egyptian, I think.
Yeah, and Puerto Rican.
Yeah. And he grew up in San Fernando Valley, and while he always enjoyed the movies, I'm guilty of this, and I don't want to say I have kinship with him in this regard, but there have been parts of my life that I was right next to something, be it an industry or people who did something that I was interested in, and I knew nothing about it. It might as well have been 3,000 miles away. He didn't, until he was virtually an adult, realize how close Hollywood was to the San Fernando Valley. It's literally 20 minutes.
I didn't get that far on the Wikipedia.
And he's like, I didn't realize how close I was to the movies until I was basically an adult. And I'm like, oh God, that makes me feel about being oblivious to all kinds of stuff in my life. And whether anyone is going to admit it or not, that's a common trait between people.
Yep.
But he did. This is really why I wish we had the connectivity up. I know he's been active in Hollywood for a bit. His big break was with Mr. Robot, which you never saw, I know, but Christian Slater was in that.
Okay.
And he was a hacker who suffered from sort of a continually degrading psychosis. He saw things and he got very involved. He would he picked apart people's lives, and I'm struggling here because this was about 5-6 years ago that I saw half of the series. But Christian Slater plays his dad, and he pops up like out of nowhere in scenes, and you spend a lot of time trying to figure out, is Rami Malek imagining him, or is he really there? Is he really part of the narrative, or is this part of Remi's psychotic break that he's dealing with? He really plays that mentally tortured character so well.
He does. He really does.
That's his
typecast.
Lane, totally. Because that's what he was in. I should show you clips from Mr. Robot. It's really. I think you might have a little bit of a hard time with it, just because it is about somebody who's very intelligent, but is also like the Amateur, a computer guy, and really good at it. He kind of busts criminals. Like he busted I'll show you this one where he busts a guy who runs a restaurant, but he's also a pornographer. He peddles like child porn, and he busts this guy. And he does it in a very creative way. He also hacks the internet account and the laptop of his therapist.
Oh.
And he has a dialogue with her in his mind while he's in session with her to say, like, I understand what kind of porn you like and how you're into anal and all these, and you kind of want to be with a woman, but you're attracted to men too, and you're kind of like, you have your own conflictions, and it makes me wonder why I'm coming to you for therapy.
Yeah, right.
But he's having this dialogue in front of her, with her, in his brain. And then it cuts back to him just talking. She asks him questions, and he gives her like these kind of flat, made-up answers that don't detail what he's really thinking. And the whole, I think this is why the show did so. I think it won an Emmy. The show did well because it bounced back and forth. Oh, God, I wish you people could see this. She is drifting hard here. She is I'm telling you, she's
I just want to say,
every
for the
ounce of
record,
strength
in case
to stay
anyone
awake.
missed it, it is Sunday and it is a holiday, and I am allowed to be
Ladies
tired.
and gentlemen,
I can be tired.
you totally can. Doesn't mean I can't make fun of it. This is America. It's like, until it's not. This is the value, ladies and gentlemen, of having protein for breakfast. Yours truly, our hero, me.
I'm not
is
a big
wide
protein
awake.
person. I need more protein, I know.
I mean, it's French toast covered in chocolate. What'd you think was going to happen? And
I knew.
You weigh like 6 pounds. It was gonna wipe you out. Where was I? Oh yeah, Mr. Robot. The whole show is like Remi's character's psychosis, and it drifts back and forth between. You can't always tell if this is reality or if this is constructed in his mind, and he's having, how people who are, what's the condition, where they see things that aren't there, schizophrenic.
Okay.
The show itself is a little schizophrenic because you can't, you're trying to figure things out because you saw something in a previous scene, but you're like, was that imagined or did that really happen? And then he was the bad guy in the most recent Bond movie, but he had all kinds of mental torture that made him.
He was good in that role.
Yeah. So I know you're a fan of him, and he's got that facial feature. He has that line right under his eyes that make it look like his eyes are bugging out a little bit, like he's hyper awake, but he has this thing about his face that the rest of his face looks asleep. Which I think for an actor is good because it makes him very recognizable.
I was gonna say the same thing. He's very recognizable, and no, you can't. There's no one you can't. You can't compare him to anyone. You can't say, oh, someone that looks like him. Or he looks like someone else. He's like uniquely, he looks like him, yeah.
I don't
himself.
think I would be. I would be interested, and this seems a little base to say. It'd be interesting to see him in a role that requires more physicality. Like if a producer came to him and said, we're going to offer you X, but you got to get jacked. Like that's not the kind of thing. I like Rami. He's not. He's kind of I wouldn't call him slight, but he's not a big guy. Like it was funny that how they built this movie is that all the other male characters were so much larger than him.
Oh, really?
Like all of them. Hal Holbrook is in this. He's one of the FBI or one of the CIA. He's not a station chief. He's under the director, but above Rami. And then his counterpart, the African American guy. They were both big guys.
Yeah.
And then Lawrence Fishburne, big guy. All the bad guys who Rami goes after.
Yeah,
all of them over 6 feet.
Yeah, very good point. Very true. All of them.
So I wouldn't say it's a movie that breaks ground with espionage. A little formulaic, sure, but
it keeps the genre going. I mean, I think it's fun and an entertaining watch.
I wasn't asleep. I wasn't bored through it.
Yeah, no.
For sure. You kind of know a little bit what to expect from the product, but the story was original.
I thought it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Gripping sometimes, emotional sometimes.
We've only dumped on a couple of movies on this podcast. This is not going to be one of them.
Not for me, no.
No, but worth a watch. And if you can see it in the theater, I think this is more of a theater. I mean, yeah, you can see it wherever, but like.
I think it's definitely more of a theater movie. I mean, if you can see it in the theater, I would go to the theater to see it. I think it's done pretty well.
This really bugs me that we don't have connectivity because there's so much more stuff we could get into. So for anyone listening, just know that if you feel a lack of substance in this conversation today, it's just because we can't connect to the internet in this workroom in Luis's building. Stay with us. We'll come up with something. Well, what I will tell you is I have another recipe for you.
Well,
for anyone who wants a honey-based recipe this week. This one, let me see here. Where'd it go? Ooh, no-bake coconut brownie. All right, so ingredients, brownie layer, 2 cups medjool dates packed, 1 cup raw almonds, 1 cup raw walnut, half cup cocoa powder or cacao powder, a teaspoon vanilla extract, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt for the coconut layer, 2 cups unsweetened shredded coconut, 1/4 cup coconut cream, 1/4 cup maple syrup, honey or agave. I think we all know what you're going to go with. Next, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then for the chocolate ganache layer, 1.5 cups of chocolate chips, 2 tablespoons coconut oil, or 1/3 cup coconut cream. I'm going to go through the instructions now, and for anyone listening, let's see if Louisa can make it without passing out on her laptop.
It's funny because he's right. It's very close.
You are so drifting. God, I wish you drank coffee. Although, considering the amount of carbs you pull in, oh my God, like your eyes are glazing over. You're going to pass out. Don't worry, this will be relatively quick. So you're going to line an 8 by 8 inch baking dish with parchment paper, leaving some of the paper hanging over the edges. This will prevent the brownies from sticking to the pan and allow you to pull them out easy. You're going to add the medjool dates, almonds, walnuts, cacao or cocoa powder, vanilla extract, and the salt to a food processor and blend until a crumbled sticky dough forms. You should then be able to pinch the sticky dough together with your hands. If the mixture is dry, add a couple extra medjool dates or a teaspoon of coconut oil to increase the moisture. You're going to transfer the brownie dough to the baking dish using clean hands. So you filthy dirtbags out there, wash them, use soap. Firmly press across the bottom in an even layer, and then you're going to set it aside. Next is the coconut layer. You're going to add shredded coconut, coconut cream, maple syrup, or the honey, coconut oil, and salt to the food processor. Pulse several times until a wet, sticky, crumbly mixture forms. And again, you should be able to pinch the mixture together with your hands. You can make it nearly smooth or leave chunks of coconut, which is recommended. And it's just recommended because it gives you texture. You're going to transfer the coconut layer to the baking dish using clean hands, again, for you dirtbags out there. Firmly press it across the brownie layer and then set aside. Oh, wait a minute, is this to the baking dish? Yeah, okay. Okay. Add the chocolate chips and coconut oil or coconut cream to a bowl. If using coconut oil, microwave for 30-second intervals, stirring in between. If using coconut cream, microwave in 15-second intervals, stirring in between. And it lets you know to be careful not to burn the chocolate. You only need 2 to 3 intervals. So if you go over 30 seconds, it's going to burn or it'll stick to glass if it burns. So don't.
Watch it really carefully.
Just 30 seconds is all you need, and then stir it. Pour the chocolate over the coconut layer and spread evenly across the dish, and then chill the coconut brownies in a refrigerator for an hour. And then once that's done, slice into, it says 16 bars, but there's no no-bake coconut brownie Gestapo out there, so you can cut them into as many bars as you want. You can make a sandwich out of it for all I care. That's it. Are you tired? Are you going to fall asleep? You need a nap.
I mean, if I lay down in bed, yes, I will fall asleep.
Totally taking a nap.
One of my most favorite things to do in life.
Yeah, I'm going to go get a burger. I am hungry again. All right. So once again, everybody, sorry. We're going to have better connectivity next time for our notebook referencing. I can't believe that. I built these 2 notebooks and we can't even look at them.
Well, I could.
Damn it. Kind of. Is there anything else about the movie you wanted to touch base on?
No. I just
want my bed. I'm tired. You would never drink one of those 5-hour energies, would you?
No.
Oh, I love those. I drink them like every week.
I don't want to do that. I don't think that's a good idea.
It's probably not, but it keeps me awake when I'm on the road.
I don't need to be that awake. It's Sunday.
This is how grounded this woman is, ladies and gentlemen. All right, next week.
What do you mean this is how grounded I am?
I mean, you're grounded. You're like, you recognize that's a holiday, and like, I don't have to be up. I can lay down and blow the day off if I want.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That's correct.
I never feel that way. I'm like, I gotta be doing shit.
Okay.
Stop beating yourself up. Is there a movie we have in mind for next time, or are we just you're not
winging it?
Yeah, we're not going to go to this movie, are we? No, we are
technically
not.
we could.
We are not.
Okay, we're not.
I doubt it. If so,
you can stay home and watch a movie.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We should watch Real Genius.
Okay.
All right. Or the other Val Kilmer one. That'd be fun. All right, folks. As always, it's been a hoot. Hugs and kisses.
Thanks for listening.
I'm not going to sign off quite yet.
No?
Just because we're not at 30. And
Okay.
I want us to be at 30.
Okay.
I don't have anything else to tell everybody. As always, thanks for listening. We'll be in touch soon. Hugs and kisses. Ta-ta.
So